Okay, hello, my name is Catalina Herrera and I want to welcome you to my series of videos on how to in Spotfire. Today we are going to present a use case that includes TIBCO Spotfire with advanced data services as part of the solution. So for that, I have a special guest, Sherlock Holmes from Genware Computed Systems. Welcome, Sherlock, and thank you for sharing this interesting use case with us today. Would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and your company, and of course about the use case that you're going to be sharing with us today?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Catalina. It's a pleasure to be here today. Very interested to walk through and show you this demonstration. Just a quick word about Genware Computer Systems. We are headquartered out of New Jersey, and we have offices across the country and some international offices, even in South America. At Genware, we assist our customers with leveraging information as an asset and transforming their business, following along the digital transformation path that's so key and critical today. Genware provides services to technology and business teams because our business users are becoming much more integral in building these solutions. We do coaching and training along the way, and we strive to be the outsourced competency center where our customers can go when they need guidance and assistance. So with that in line, I've actually invited Ronald Vogel, who I'll introduce in a few minutes, but Ronald is a solutions architect that worked on this particular solution. We're going to look at social media analytics today, and I'm going to Catalina, maybe if you'd like to do a quick introduction on the Cisco Information Server /ADS, then I'll take us through a walkthrough on what our social media application does and how that actually leverages CIS.
Sure.
So let me hand it back over to you.
Thank you, Sherlock. So let me place this use case into the analytics maturity context. So what we are seeing here is pretty much correlating with the rapid growth of data, right? The rapid growth of data can be a competitive advantage or it can actually be an obstacle when it comes to achieving better business outcomes. So it's key to figure out how to best leverage those data assets, right? So the problem with data is not only how much it is, but also that it's coming from all over, right? So it's scattered in silos across traditional databases, big data, cloud data sources, and many other options. So what we are showing here at the screen right now, it's that analytics maturity curve. So as you can see, the very first step is to have that data preparation, management, and virtualization layer. That layer has to be ready for me to be able to grow within the analytics. So as soon as we keep growing into maturity, if you click the mouse over there, we see that we have all of these data sources properly prepared and managed, and I can naturally continue with my data discovery and my dashboarding, or even further with my predictive and prescriptive advanced analytics. So we are going to grow into maturity. If you click a couple of times on the mouse, we can see how the maturity keeps growing and how we have on top of this the possibility to do data discovery, to grow into predictive analytics, to grow into prescriptive analytics, and eventually to go into streaming analytics. But all of this is going to generate even more value for you within the company. So the use case today is extremely interesting because it's going to cover that core, the base of it, which is the data preparation, management, and virtualization. And with that, I'm going to give it back to Sherlock, and he's going to describe what is going to be the use case, and we're actually going to see a demo of it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Catalina. So, as we look at these technologies and how we make them all work together, it comes down to what it is that we're trying to analyze and what we're trying to show the users. So in this particular use case, we are performing social media analytics. Ron's going to give you the demonstration of it so you can see the slide that's up there. But the social analytics media solution draws information from a number of social media information providers and also the news sites and the NASDAQ information. So the challenge here that we're leveraging Cisco Information Server for is to actually access the data through the REST APIs from these different websites. What we'd like to do is we want to use that data for all the people that are conducting analysis only do the number of calls that we absolutely have to. So if we can use some caching along the way, we do that. And users get to see the data as and when they need it. So there's real-time calls and there's cached calls. The last little component that you may notice just on the screen shared over here is a piece of natural language generation. So with the NLG type technology, we're able to interpret what our charts are showing us and come up with a textual description and explain to the user what it is that they're seeing and what's being interpreted for them. So with this solution in mind, Ron is going to take us through what we did and how we used ADS, which is Cisco Information Server, to handle the connection to these complex data sources and how we're doing caching and so forth. So with that, if you give us a second, Ron, I'd like you to take over and share your screen, and then you can take us through the application.
Okay, great. So I'd like to start with the Spotfire analysis. So this Spotfire analysis, as you can see, includes an integration with a number of the major social media sites and leverages Spotfire Advanced Data Services, or ADS, as a data source. So these include things like Twitter, LinkedIn, NASDAQ, digital news, and YouTube. We have an information link as the connection to the social media sources in ADS so that the users can share access to the data. In ADS, we handle the querying of the source data through APIs, as Sherlock mentioned, and we also have options such as caching the data in ADS for enhanced performance and for a greater user experience. So you can see here, this is the Twitter tab. And if we switch over to our digital news feed, this tab of the analysis contains the natural language generation, or NLG integration with Spotfire provided by Wordsmith. So when one or more posts are selected on this tab, so for example, we'll pick a TIBCO post from the TIBCO news feed coming from their blog, we can see here that when one or more posts are selected, Wordsmith then interprets the data and produces feedback to the analysts and consumers via text, as shown here. Now let's switch over to Spotfire Analyst client, and you can see here an example of the information link that we're using to connect ADS to the Spotfire analysis that we just showed. The information link provides access to the ADS query, making it easy and consistent for use in the analysis. In addition to this, filters, prompts, and caching may also be enabled within the Information Designer as well. With that, I'll switch over to ADS so that we can look at an example of the Cisco Information Server Studio, as shown here. So ADS is Advanced Data Services, and within here we can see the LinkedIn profile view, which is the source of one of our tabs in the analyst in the analysis. ADS is configurable, and the metadata can be renamed and organized into folders to make the query and the columns easier to use and understand. Now let's switch over to the data source, which feeds the view for LinkedIn. We can see here that this data source view in ADS is configured to use the APIs that are available. And in addition to this, we've written our own process to handle custom authentication using the OAuth 2 protocol. That concludes our demo.
Okay, this is a very, very interesting use case. So you're pretty much consuming all of these data sources. You are consolidating all the information through the ADS, and then you are feeding that information to an Spotfire using the information server and the information links. And then you are actually adding on top of that some of the machine learning techniques to actually do some of the understanding on the text and writing of the text and writing their conclusion here using the additional part of it at Wordsmith, as I can set here on the text area. That's a very, very interesting use case. Do you have anything else to add, Sherlock?
Oh, thank you. I think that this is a great example of how we can bring the different technologies together to make it seamless. I think that the value of the data virtualization is not just about the accessing of multiple data sources, but it's also about making it easier to consume, that analysts can get access to information that may have previously taken a substantial amount of effort to get to. So by using these technologies, we're able to craft a solution that can scale and can provide services in an easy manner, an easy to consume manner. So thank you very much for the time today. I hope that this was very beneficial. We look forward to any comments or any feedback that anybody would like to provide. Our information is on the slides as well.
Okay, thank you very much, you both, and yeah, looking forward for our next use case, and thank you everybody for watching. So see you next time. Yeah.
Wonderful.